Welcome to the Year of Plenty. No, this isn't a new patch or anything like that. Instead, this is going to be a very different kind of episode, something new for the 9 Realms series. We're going to do a time skip. 1 year to be exact, which will serve 2 purposes. Firstly, I need a break. Honestly, I need a D&D style long rest so that I can fix all the wonky little issues I am sure many of us are going through in our playthroughs right now. Things like my outpost screaming for help because the new food tiers are causing absolute havoc on the food supply and villager happiness. My market routes just straight up not working most of the time. Also, I really need to clean up the bodies from all the invasions and blood moons because holy crap are they sapping my FPS, and there are hundreds of bodies. So that alone is going to take at least a week, a literal week or more, because, you know, somehow the devs still haven't added a bloody corpse harvesting job to the game yet. The second purpose of the Year of Plenty is to do one of my good old-fashioned landscaping and beautification revamps, because right now this muddy clearing is not the shining capital I had in mind. And that is where this idea of the Year of Plenty comes in. A whole year for me to spend time fixing, upgrading, and beautifying everything. Editor Bucky is going to have his work cut out for him, cramming 1 year of progress into a single episode, but you know what? That is a later me problem. Now me is going to blow this rock up. Good morning, New Asgard. Okay, let's kick things off straight away by upgrading Longhouse number 1 here. I will have to get rid of the cottage next door. I wonder how many people are sleeping in there. 8. Okay, 8 people, so keep that in mind. Now, obviously, I don't want to have 8 homeless villagers because it takes a really long time to build a longhouse. So I've come up with the idea of popping down 8 temporary housing shelters just on the other side of town. It's actually near a barracks, so they will be happy. They're not going to have a happiness debuff from being unprotected. And these should keep the former cottage dwellers happy while we build the longhouse. Because again, it does take a long time to put these things up, or at least it does for me, because my resource storage is on the other side of town. It always actually takes a long time to build 8 shelters at once too. You know, it's fine. This temporary housing area, this is an investment. We are going to need this for every time we knock down a cottage and put up a longhouse. We're going to have a bunch of homeless people, so this will be around for a while. So it doesn't matter that it takes a while to build already. Okay, so let's start with a large expansion. And I want to come out of the side there. I want to make a U shape with this one because I have a cool idea for the middle bit. Oh, it's really, really bloody fiddly though. Really fiddly. Also, you have to make sure that the door is on the side. Don't put it down with the door on the other side. That would suck. I know that from experience. You know what? I often give the game a lot of flack for market routes not working. And don't get me wrong, a lot of my market routes aren't working. Especially my food ones, my really, really long distance ones. But we have a lot of refined wood right now, which is going to be super, super helpful because this episode is going to take all the refined wood in the world. Oh, wow, actually, that's good timing. This is the market worker coming from Neither Valir, you know, our former mining outpost, now hardwood farming outpost. So of all the market routes to actually be working today, this one's the most important, and I'm happy about that. So I don't think wood's going to be an issue because we have a lot in storage and a lot here waiting to be processed. It's rare things actually go in my favor, you know? I was good, happy with that. Alright, let's put down the 3rd extension. Oh, this is the wrong side. There's no door there. Alright, there's our door. Let's slot that in. Oh, for crying out loud, stop flipping. Okay, door on this side. Take it out. Rotate it. Snap it in. And door on this side. Stop it! Okay, there it is. You can see the doors on our side now. I don't know what the trick was besides getting, you know, quite angry. Essentially, just spamming it into it. Bloody listen to me. You gotta just beware of that, because I put it backwards and I deleted the footage because I was mad. You're not going to see the footage. You're not going to see the footage. Just take my word for it. You know, I guess it's quite easy to believe that Sabaki did something silly. So you don't really. It's not a stretch of the imagination that I did something ridiculous. But just watch out for it yourselves, because that was really bloody fiddly. Alright, this is the interior design I've gone for. Nothing too special. I got the upgraded beds now going along one side. There's not a lot of room for them, actually. I kind of wish that the longhouses will eventually get a resizing. I think they do need to be about 2 to 4 cells wider because it's just really, really narrow in here once you put all the beds in. But for now, it looks fine. It's way more efficient than a cottage. It just looks really, really nice. These upgraded beds are my new favorites. And then in the way of decorations, I just have a couple of weapon racks. I don't know what I'll put on them, if anything, for now. But yeah, it's nice and cozy. I like it a lot. And here's the exterior decorations. I put one of those wooden altars right in the middle of the U shape. I also ran a road out the front. That'll be connecting throughout the village as we go. But it fits really, really perfectly right there in the middle. And then around the side here, I built a small little garden with another altar inside. And you know what? I love how this turned out. It's just really, really cozy and something I wouldn't normally have had time to do if I didn't force myself to do the Year of Plenty and have this beautification episode. Alright, so that did use a lot of our refined wood, but again, we have a lot of raw wood waiting to be processed. So while I wait for that to replenish our supply, I'm just going to go ahead and get a head start on cleaning up all those Draugr bodies and all the crap on the outside of town. Excuse me, sir, I'm quite capable of doing it myself. Honestly, these bloody blacksmiths have nothing to do. They just took over my task. But yeah, I want to make myself a two-handed pickaxe. The first one of the game so far, actually, because it would just be a little bit faster. I mean, honestly, if you're going to steal a job from me, at least do it quickly. And I know I can use the party system to have 3 villagers help me with it. I just don't have 3 spare villagers at the moment. So many people died over winter, and then we spent the whole of the last episode in the world's smallest outpost. I haven't been home to summon villagers, so yeah. I'll have to do it myself, and then once I've recouped some of our lost villagers, I'll delegate it out. Okay, so the front of this gate and a little bit towards the forest there is done. The forest itself still teeming, but you know, we've made a dent for sure. And that took a day and a night. You know, now that the outside has turned from a graveyard into a quarry, quite literally, I kind of just had an idea about what to do with all that stone. So let's go ahead, fill this cart up, and also grab the earth artifact that's just been casually sitting in this box for ages. And I'll see you at Yotenguard. Oh, the graves of my poor, stupid bastards. But don't feel sorry for these guys. They didn't die from monsters or neglect or anything like that. They froze to death because they refused to pick up t-shirts and they refused to go to fireplaces. So you know what? They deserved it, probably. Okay, so what I want to do out here is I want to get rid of the warehouse. It just never came to the point where we needed it. And I also want to get rid of the healer's hut because literally our healer froze to death in a building that has a fireplace and heals. So, no, this is not working. And in its place, I thought it would be a really good idea to put down the earth runestone, because then it'll be assigned to this outpost, and the people who will be using it as it is assigned to this outpost would be our defenders, our warriors, our archers. They would then get a 100 health buff for their entire shift, because we will have this working at the time that they're working. And of all my villagers that need a 100 health buff at all times, it is the defenders of Yotenguard. These brave Vikings are facing endless swarms of mobs from the large spire day and night. So yeah, they need the health buff. They are going to be grateful. Well, you're not dead. They're going to be gratefully not dead. Perfect. It's really, really peaceful here, considering 20 feet behind me is just like an absolute nightmare spire. I bet my villagers are going to get pissed off at me doing that first thing in the morning. Over here at the temporary housing area, I have expanded it some. I've added 6 more shelters. I've already forgotten. 6 more shelters, because not only are we ripping down the cottages, which have 8 people in, I'm also summoning people back to back to back to back as often as I can. So we do need more than 8 temporary shelters, at least for the time being, until we get enough of the longhouses built. All right, that is a bunch of people now homeless. Sorry, what a way to wake up, by the way, with the roof caving in and your bed falling out from under your ass. Let's go ahead and assign all of our now homeless people to new shelters. Again, they shouldn't be too unhappy because it's quite nice down here. We got, you know, a lot of protection going on. They're right next to the cooking area, so a lot going on for them, even if they are sleeping on sticks and bark. Oh, you're one of the people I just summoned in. So, yeah, that's again why we had to build more than 8 shelters, because some of the people who are living here are those new summons that we're getting. Time for longhouse number 2. Going to be a different shape this time, whichever one I can, you know, get to work. All right, before I put this bad boy down, I want to make sure we're on the same alignment as the previous ones, because I do want to extend that road all the way down through the clearing. And yeah, that looks about good. Okay, cool. All right, let's go pop it down. I'll put it next to the trees. Right about there, hopefully. Oh, bugger. Okay, so update time. It's been a long night and a long day. I finished the longhouse and then I revamped the cooking area some with brand new rows, an upgraded warehouse for raw food. This time I'm splitting up my food storages, and then a second upgraded cooking house. And then in service of that, I wanted to have a road linking up that area with our main highway here that goes to Nithavalir and Blauber Acre, to help facilitate trade of those vegetables a bit easier, because again, that market route is completely broken. You know, as you just saw, we had 2 of those Draugr rocks in the way, so I grabbed myself another explosive sack, because you know me, any excuse to use an explosive sack, I'm gonna take it. 100% of the time, I'm going to blow shit up. And let's be honest here, you guys want to see an explosion every chance you can get to. Honestly, never gets old. You know, the easiest place to build a road is through a Draugr field, because all the stones you could ever need to build the road with are there. You just got to harvest them up first, which again has taken most of the night. Give us a goddamn corpse harvesting job. You know what, I do keep complaining about a corpse harvesting job, but there is a way to kind of do it in the game anyway. So let's head over to the improved chieftain's hut, where I have set up, or renamed rather, one of my stone cutting buildings with 3 people in now, the corpse crew. These guys are going to fit the role of the corpse harvesting job for now. They are then going to come find me, and when they do, I'm going to give them each 1 pickaxe, 1 knife, and 1 hammer, which is everything they'll need to harvest up the bodies. The pickaxe, obviously, for the Draugrs, the knife for any wights or jumpy boys, and then the hammer for the skeletons. The downside is I do have to go around tagging all of the mobs, but it does turn out to be faster. I have to tag the mobs, and then they'll just do them all in sequence, and I don't think there's a limit. I haven't seen one yet, at least anyway. So yeah, it'll take a while, but you know, it's going to take their time, not mine, after the tagging. Look at them go, my handy little corpse crew. Because the game likes to troll me, the very next night after I spent the entire day tagging and cleaning up more bodies, got a bloody blood moon, didn't we? So now there's more bodies to clean up. Alright, day 4, 5 or something of corpse cleanup duty, and we are doing the first invasion actually, which is on this side of town. This is the first invasion that we got, still draining away my frames per second. So yeah, this is going to be the corpse crew's job for today. And my job for today is doing something with this side of town, and I'm going to have to do a lot more demolishing than just 1 cottage. Starting with this gatherer's hut, they appear to be out of resources within the marked area, so it doesn't matter that they're going to be losing their job. So let's get rid of all these feathers. I don't want to lose 1,000 odd feathers, and then tear this down. Oh, I completely forgot I had 2 temporary shelters tucked away back here, but they can go too. And then the cottage next door as well. You know, we're just ripping it all down. Seriously, we're ripping it all down. So my idea, and I say my idea, is things I picked up on doing other people's playthroughs, like Dark Walls, like Sphinx, like CZ's. Anyone really who's done those trenches or walls, their entrances are always fortified with watchtowers and barracks. And I want to go in that direction too, because it makes a lot of sense. If all the enemies are being funneled in to these singular points because of the trench, or because if you do a wall, it makes sense to have a permanent defense force in that location. Plus, it also just looks really cool. You know, we're going to have a gate with a barracks right next door and a watchtower next to that. That's how things were designed. It just makes a lot of sense. It's going to look really, really cool. So I'll put the longhouse on a bit of a pause. I want to get the barracks up first to make sure that I have enough room to work with, because the room over here is a little bit tight for what I have in mind. And because I've torn down so many buildings over here, it's not actually going to take that long to get up. All the basic resources were here. We're just going to need the refined stuff, really. So the idea of this longhouse is to do a really big L shape and then do a mirrored L-shaped longhouse opposite it, hopefully creating this really, really big garden, because I like doing gardens, apparently. I've discovered that about myself. Plus, we have some really good new decorations to use for gardens. We got these nice ivy fences, which I'm using these small ones at the front, you know, facing in. And then I usually have the larger, the taller ivy fences in the back. So the people walking up and down the main fairway of New Asgard will be able to look over the fences and see in to this lovely little garden. We're going to have 2 runestones in here and a bunch of plants all over the place. It's going to look absolutely spectacular. I'm here for it. This is like one of my new favorite parts of the game, is just decoration. Oh, look at that. That was not planned at all. That is pure luck. It fits. That is so lucky, and it's going to look so good. Holy crap, it is autumn, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is why we did the Year of Plenty. It has taken, I don't even know how many days, but essentially it is autumn. It's taken 3 months to get all the longhouses that I kind of had planned for this episode. So the next thing we should do is go ahead, demolish all of our temporary housing, re-homeless the formerly homeless people, and then get them back into some nice new longhouses. This came out way better than I was expecting. I love it so much. I think it would be good to put a path leading across the clearing here. So let's... Oh, bugger. We got a torch in the way. That's fine. We could just do a little triangle around the torch. That makes it look a little bit more intentional than accidental, right? Oh, for crying out loud, I just cleaned up the last one. Back to breaking down bloody bodies. Okay, here is a trick I learnt from Lord Grimwolf, you know, the Lord of Smilkerton, when I was taking a look around their village. And that is a really, really nice way to fill in all of that blank, barren space you get when you've been building up your villages. Now, obviously, we've been clear-cutting trees, we've been blowing up rocks, and the in-between places, you know, in between the throughways going up and down past the longhouses, we have a lot of mud. We have a lot of just empty, muddy space. So what Grimwolf does in his village, and what I want to try out in this one, is taking the saplings from the foresters and then planting them in all of that in-between brown, barren, muddy space. Now, obviously, they're going to take a year or so to grow. That kind of sucks. I wish it was a lot faster. But I don't have any woodcutters now in New Asgard, so once these trees grow, they'll stay in New Asgard without being cut down, and they will add a lot of like original aesthetic back to the city, and I think that's going to look really, really nice, because again, yeah, it just looks really, really barren and bleh, not that nice at all. So having some trees thrown into the mix, I think it would just look really, really good. I mean, Grimwolf's looked really, really good. I hope I can replicate it even slightly, because again, his village is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, that was the wrong button. I forget how you do it. There we go. Oh, I don't even want to think about how long that took. All right, we still have so much room in our new longhouses, so let's go ahead and get rid of the last cottage, officially get rid of the last cottage here in New Asgard, and now everyone is just going to be living like absolute royalty. Except for you, bugger. Never mind, it's okay, we have plenty of room in the second longhouse over here, speaking of which, oh god, no. Oh, I hope I don't have this bug. I hope it goes away before winter too, because this is an absolute kneecapper. The devs keep saying they fixed this bug too. They've done it a couple times now, but as evidenced by the video in front of your very eyes, no, it's still here. Just go inside, you absolute muppet. I don't know. I don't know how to fix this one. I'm going to have to think about it. Oh, I hope it goes away before winter. Okay, we have to take another short break from New Asgard because we've again used up all of the refined wood. So while that supply replenishes with our deliveries, I'm going to try and fix the Blauber Acre deliveries. So if you remember earlier in the episode, I linked the cooking area up with the main highway through the Draugr field. And now I want to finish that road off from Nithavalir to Blauber Acre, because the market workers just aren't making it from here consistently, mind you, from Blauber Acre to New Asgard with all the vegetables. We have hundreds, thousands of vegetables sitting here in Blauber Acre, and only a trickling amount of them are making it to New Asgard. So I wanted to finish the road system, see if I could incentivize the market workers out here to do it, and then, you know, tweak the market routes, probably off screen, because again, doing market routes on screen is something I've learned is just, I can't, it just takes too long. It just takes too long. And so does building roads, which my villagers also seem to not want to do half the time. Just look at this place, though. Look at all the carrots. Look at all the produce. Just so much of it. Why isn't it getting all the way to New Asgard, though? Okay, so here are the market routes that I came up with. And the reason I'm showing you is I kind of would like your guys' feedback because, again, I'm at my wit's end when it comes to market routes. So my idea is Ansgar here, he has 3 routes, right? And each route is basically the same. He's delivering 2 types of vegetables and the same quantity of broken metal parts, you know, for all the tools and armor that my guys out here wear. And so with the vegetable side of things, he's delivering 100 of one vegetable and 100 of another. And in New Asgard, the storage limits of these are 100. And the reason I have each type of vegetable set up like this with these routes is because, you know, we're going to eventually run out of beets. We're going to eventually run out of berries when they're not in season, when they're not growing anymore, when they're not getting harvested. We're going to be running out. So the idea is Ansgar will then just move on to another route with vegetables that we do have. That's my plan behind the vegetable delivery. He's always going to have the option and the ability to deliver one of these routes. And each time he does one of these routes, he's taking those broken metal parts with him. Barn, on the other hand, just has one goddamn job, and that is to deliver as many fibers as he can, along with, again, any broken metal parts in case Ansgar just, you know, doesn't want to work that day, which apparently is happening a lot out here. And the reason I had to separate the fibers is I have about 4,000 fibers out here. They're just not making it back. I don't know why. Ansgar hasn't been doing it for years. I've asked him. He doesn't have an answer for me. So I figured I'd just give the fibers to Barn. That's all he has to do. He has one bloody job, and we'll get to see if he actually does it. But anyway, I have an invasion in 2 days, and I don't even know where the portal is, so time to go find it. Well, that was a much better explosion this year than last year. And actually, I do want to do this before I forget. I want to see how many monsters we took out with the explosion. So let's clear out some of these fallen trees and then take a little bit of a look, because I forgot to do that last time, and I regret it. I know it's like a drop in the bucket, but it is a hilarious drop in the bucket. I'm gonna do that every single invasion. It takes out the first like chunk. That's quite good. I like that a lot. Just need a lot more bombs. I wonder how many bombs you'll need to just completely obliterate them all. Oh, Ingrid froze to death, and so it begins. The bloody freezing bug. Yeah, Ingrid died at the front door to the longhouse along with all of these other people soon if they can't figure out how to walk through the open bloody door. Yeah, I don't know how to fix this one. I don't know. I'm going to try kicking them out and then reassigning them back here. Maybe that's the problem. It might work. I don't know. I have no idea. You know what? The problem goes away if you turn your back to it. You know what? It doesn't go away. Does not go away if you turn your back to it. I wonder if this will help, because they're freezing to death there. But if I can keep a campfire lit nearby, maybe they will not freeze to death. They might exhaust themselves to death. I don't really know what happens if they don't go to sleep. But let's check this out. Yeah, the warmth is going up. Hopefully that'll break whatever sort of like priority they're trying to do. Maybe they got like a conflict. I need to go to bed. I'm freezing. They can't decide. That might be the band-aid we need. Not this guy though. He's doomed. He's gonna die. Alright, I had to wait until winter ended and spring came before I made the garden here, because it's really hard to see anything in the snow. I couldn't see the road clearly, so I had no idea what the area I had to work with was. But yeah, I'm just putting the finishing touches on the garden here. Again, I'm just trying to make each longhouse different, even though some of the shapes I wanted can't be made. And we do have sort of like a limited variety of shapes to do. I am trying to give them each a unique garden. So this one has 2 entrances. You can walk right through it. I want to line the sides here with the large flower beds. Unfortunately, I can't fit a wooden altar in here. I don't know why. It clearly fits visually, but yeah, that's just a limitation of the game right now. Not a big deal. And then I would love to have a path coming through the middle, just to give it sort of like a walked-in, lived-in vibe. But yeah, let's just finish off this path, and then this little garden's good. It's done. It's just like a nice little... I hope eventually we get benches that we can interact with, because I would really like to just pop a bench in here and just sit down, you know, pass the afternoon with a good book. But it is technically spring, so our year of plenty has come to an end. So I'm just going to whittle away the night, and then Editor Bucky is going to handle the outro in post, because I have a plan in mind for that, but Editor Bucky needs to do a bit of legwork to get the footage for that. So goodbye from me, and Editor Bucky is going to take it from here. Either that or he's just going to cut to black and embarrass me. You could go either way with him, you know this. That is all for today's episode, and that is all for the year of plenty. What an absolutely monumental episode this was to record and edit, but worth every last second. I had such a good time revamping New Asgard. I absolutely loved the landscaping and beautification part of this game, and things are going to look and feel much, much smoother in the episodes to come. Still lots to do in the months and years ahead. 3 more outposts to build to complete our 9 realms plan, and definitely a need to revisit our 5 existing outposts and give them their own revamps. But I am going to be leaving this episode here. The year of plenty has ended, a new year has begun, so thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed your time here, then please consider grabbing a sub, dropping a like, and leaving a comment, and I'll see you next time. Cheerio.